Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boscheman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the numerology and the energy for February 2022. Before I get into the reading, this is, of course, a general reading. If you would like a personalized reading, please book some time with me. My information is in the description box below. So as always, I'm going to take a deep dive into the numerology for the collective for the month of February. I highly recommend not skipping this part. This is why I don't put timestamps in these videos, because the numerology part of this reading is the bread and butter. This is what's sort of driving the energy. So please listen to this part. You're more than welcome to fast forward if you choose to, but just so you know, this is important. Okay. Then I will dive into the energy of each individual life path number. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so February is an 8 universal cycle. What's really interesting about this, so 8 energy is sort of governs the material plane. So think money, resources, power dynamics. Why this is so interesting that this is occurring, that this 8 cycle is occurring in February 2022 is because in astrology, we have the Pluto return for the United States going exact, I believe, on February 22nd, 2022. So that's 2222022. So that's a lot of twos, a lot of balance energy. So with this Pluto return for the US, no matter where you are in the world, what sort of happens in the US does have some sort of effect on the rest of the world. That's just sort of the way it is. And so this Pluto return is incredibly significant. And it only happens, I think, your Pluto return, I think, only happens once like every 248 years or something like that. It's we humans never see their Pluto return, but like companies, estates, countries will see a Pluto return, and it can be significant. And so I would highly, highly suggest, if you haven't already done so, find an astrologer and that you like, that you resonate with, and watch their videos on the upcoming Pluto return for the US, because you are going to feel the effects of that in some way, shape, or form. Okay, so that's why this is just kind of mind-blowing that we have this 8 universal cycle that's centered around money, resources, power dynamics, and then we have this Pluto return coming in February for the United States. And again, Pluto is all about death, transformation, rebirth. This could be the start of a major overhaul when it comes to money, resources, control, transfer of power, and so on, to sort of function more effectively. So this, of course, will take many, many years. This isn't something that happens on the day or that happens immediately, but it's the start of a transformation. It's the start of a death and a rebirth, a start of a major overhaul and rebalancing. And so I think that we're going to see that play out on the global scale. And we can start to see things changing and the dynamics changing because of that. Because anytime Pluto is involved, shit is about to get real. That's just, it's for our highest good, but it gets intense. It gets intense pretty fast, and things that aren't working will basically be plowed over, and then it's time to transform and have that rebirth. So it's an intense energy, and that will be with us for a while as far as Pluto is concerned. With the 8 energy, we have this cycle in February. And so this brings it into the individual dynamic, right? So we will feel this not only collectively, but individually. Whereas the Pluto will be more collective, the Pluto energy for the Pluto return for the US. Okay, so for February, for the collective and for the individual, again, February is an 8 universal cycle, and we can see the emphasis really going to be placed strongly on the physical plane. So especially when it comes to money matters and how we make money, how we circulate money, our relationship with money, and so on. The same with resources. If we have lessons to learn around 8 energy, we could see challenges or transformations come in around finances, distribution of wealth, resources, how we handle those resources. Remember, we are in a 6 universal year. So the emphasis throughout the year will be on the greater community and how the individual actions affect the whole. So this month, in February, is an opportunity to sort of take a deeper, more serious look at how we are using resources, how they're being distributed and circulated, starting with ourselves, within our own homes. So this is ultimately about finding a healthy balance where we aren't falling into some toxic level of an extreme. Sort of living in excess has its own consequences, good and bad, just like living in deprivation does. So where is your healthy balance between the two, and how can you contribute to the redistribution of wealth and resources to keep that energy flowing? That's going to be a question we need to be asking ourselves. This will all be emphasized on the global stage, as I mentioned, as well as individually. That's really important to keep in mind. So we are individually going to feel the effects of this 8 universal cycle in some way, shape, or form. So really use this cycle to evaluate your finances, your resources, and determine whether you are feeling centered and in a healthy place with this energy, or whether you have fallen into an extreme, right? So in an extreme, work with the energy of this 8 cycle to begin to find ways to get back into a state of equilibrium when it comes to your own personal finances, resources, and relationships with those energies. That's going to be really, really important, and I think you'll see it highlighted where it is that there needs some work or some redistribution, or some where there needs to be, again, just sort of like your attention, your awareness. This 8 cycle is also emphasizing personal power and inner strength. So where we're going to be, again, seeing on the global stage that power dynamics and redistribution of power and all of that, on the personal side of things, it's going to be emphasizing personal power and inner strength. So if there are any areas within your life where you are giving your power away, or where you are easily influenced by an external source, someone telling you what you should do and you doing that, you may be faced with some pretty powerful truths and challenges to help to assist you in reclaiming that power and becoming much more decisive and autonomous when it comes to your own life and the choices that you make for yourself. Nobody else on this planet is responsible for our life. So if there are any aspects of our journey where someone is trying to dictate or do something for us, something that we're fully capable of doing for ourselves, then this 8 energy will be pushing us to take on the responsibility of the direction of our own life. So I hear people say sometimes, I did this because so-and-so told me to, and it didn't work out, so it's their fault and I'm mad now, or I'm upset, or we're not friends any longer because I took it personally, or whatever. That scenario is an example of giving your power away and then blaming someone else for the consequences of your own actions. We have the final say when it comes to our decisions and our choices, whether we were influenced by another to make those choices or if we made them through our own decisiveness. Either way, if those choices work out or they don't, it's our responsibility to take ownership of the result, to be empowered to either celebrate the success or take responsibility for what didn't work out and clean up our own mess. So 8 energy isn't about passing the buck and passing the blame. It's about taking ownership and responsibility of one's own circumstances, picking ourselves up when we fall, and then finding ways to not keep making the same missteps so we don't keep falling in the same direction. And so this 8 energy is going to help to sort of emphasize where it may be within our life that we're doing that and where we can clean that up a little bit and start taking that responsibility. So if there are any areas within your life where you have knowingly or even unknowingly been giving your power away, this 8 cycle will sort of shed light on that area and make it very difficult to ignore until you make the decision and commit to stepping back into your own magnificence and your own power. This 8 energy is all about self-empowerment, not martyrdom. There's a difference. Remember, we can't do it for someone else without taking their power away. That's martyrdom. Support, yes, we can support other people, but we can't try to do it for them. Because again, it's in the doing for the person and not believing that they have the capability of doing it that we're actually taking their power away. We are detracting from them, right? From their own essence. Supporting someone to assist them and sort of showing them or reminding them of their power and allowing them or teaching them to do it for themselves is so much more powerful, right? That is empowerment. So I believe we will see power struggles play out on the global stage under this energy, but it also serves a bigger purpose to sort of eventually bring the power back to the people. So remember, this cycle will help to highlight where the imbalances of power lie so that the equilibrium can eventually be reached. And as always, it's what we choose to do with this energy and how we choose to participate with it that ultimately makes the difference in how the energy works for us. So this is going to be an interesting month. This is, like I said, with this Pluto dynamic happening for the US and hence globally. And then we've got this 8 energy coming in. This could be a very intense month. This can be a month of transformation when it comes to, again, money, power, resources, or it can be a month where you start to see the sort of start reaping the rewards for some of the efforts that you've put in. Maybe you see an influx of money coming in, resources. Maybe you feel like you're stepping into your power. This can be like you stepping on the other side of that transformation. Maybe you've already been doing this work, and so you're fully stepping into it and sort of reaping the rewards of taking the reins back within your own life. So you can certainly see that show up as well. But for others, if you're struggling with, again, giving your power away or struggling with falling into the extremes of something within the physical realm, then this month might be a little bit more about the transformations and the challenges to help you to overcome those situations and to, again, regain what is rightfully yours, your power, your resources, and to circulate those resources and that money. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the life path number. Life path number 2. So I pulled an animal spirit card for you all, and you got giraffe spirit. And giraffe's message is see the bigger picture. And so you think about a giraffe with its really long neck and its vantage point to be able to see, across the Serengeti if there's danger or where the food is or where its family is or whatever. It kind of has a different, again, vantage point. And so I believe throughout February, you all are really going to be asked to sort of take a different viewpoint, position yourself in a way that you're able to sort of look at the dynamic through a different lens. I think that's going to be really, really important for you through February. It's kind of like this energy of like, however you've been doing things, if they're working, great, keep doing them. But if they don't feel aligned or they don't feel like they're working, then this is going to be an opportunity for you to embody giraffe energy and just sort of try to see things through a different lens. And that can be through, taking into account other people's ideas, other people's experiences, not being easily influenced by those ideas or those, that advice or whatever, but just being open to, again, being the observer, just observing the situation, not buying into, not being biased, whatever, just observing, and then you choosing and deciding how you want to move forward with the information that comes forth. So again, it's just an opportunity to see things through a different lens and being open to that. So for you all, looking at the month ahead, the beginning of February for you, it's really going to be about self, like identity, taking action in a way that, again, incorporates that 8 cyclical energy that we're in collectively for February, stepping into your power, understanding that you have everything that you need to be able to create whatever it is that you're trying to create, whether that's like a relationship, whether that's an actual physical, tangible object or an experience. You have everything that you need at your disposal to be able to do that. You may have to get creative in how you sort of bring those resources into your sort of onto your table, but you have access to all of it. you might have to figure out how to discover it or uncover it, but there's really like this sort of magician energy circulating for you all the beginning of February. So really take advantage of that to the best of your ability. Again, you could have a tremendous amount of insights coming in. They could be like insights that are sort of outside the box, that people think you might be a little bit sort of out there in your thinking, but that's okay. This is like an exploratory period for you all at the beginning of February, but also a very tangible period. So this is going to be a time to take those inspirations and create something within the tangible that you actually want to see. And understanding that you have the power to do that, and finding, again, that empowerment as you step forth, and not relying or waiting on someone else to do it for you or to tell you how to do it. Not saying that you're doing that, but 2 energy can be very indecisive energy. It can feel very cloudy. And so it's sometimes easier, or feels easier in the moment, to sort of deflect that out and ask people what you should do, and then follow that advice, and then be upset when it doesn't work out the way that you were hoping it would work out. So kind of take a closer look at, how do you hope it will turn out? There's your sort of indicator in what action to take, right? So beginning of February, this is going to be an opportunity for you really to step into your power, to take the reins, and to make things happen, and not wait for them to happen for you. Middle of the month for you all, there is some big disruptive sort of change coming in for you all, and I feel like it's around finances. And so you all will probably be feeling this 8 universal energy of February pretty strongly mid-month. Definitely something coming in abruptly around finances, resources. It could be around like selling or buying something, or some kind of offer coming in for you that you need to make a very quick decision about. This feels like fast-moving energy. So typically I would say try to take your time, feel into it, but this feels like you're not going to have that luxury. You're going to have to make a quick decision. And so you really need to trust yourself on this. I feel like whatever this offer is, whether it's you making an offer or you accepting an offer, is very, very supported. So to say yes to whatever this is and take that risk seems very, very supportive. So, but again, it's one of those things too, where for some of you, it might not be about you making a decision. It might be like that sort of divine intervention energy where something comes in and disrupts a situation, and you have to sort of think quick on your feet and figure out how to sort of find your balance within that disruption. And so, not to like sound overly dramatic, but sometimes that happens where it's like, oh, we thought we had enough for whatever this is. We don't. We have to come up with some kind of way to make it happen. And ultimately, humans are an incredible species. We're able to do that. We're able to find a way to do it. And so you may sort of see yourself in a situation like that in February or mid-February, where you have to think quick on your feet and sort of take a big risk. But I feel like that risk will pay off. I feel like whatever this is will pay off. Maybe not initially, not immediately, but you will see it over time. So just kind of be prepared to think quickly. Think quick on your feet mid-February, and not second guess yourself. Don't waste your energy and your time on doubt. Doubting yourself, second guessing yourself, asking someone else what you should do. I can almost guarantee that if you go out to the external and ask somebody what you should do and then follow that to the letter, you're gonna have to revisit whatever this is, and there's going to be some level of potential disappointment around it because you're not following your own authenticity. You're not following what feels right for you. So just be aware of that. End of the month for you all, there's actually this very feminine energy coming in for you. This could be very much around, it almost feels like a mothering energy, nurturing energy, very sensitive energy. It's also very much about you going within, following your own intuition, connecting or reconnecting to your own divine feminine energies in a big way. So this could be a time for you to face emotions, to really, again, follow your own inner calling when it comes to a particular direction that you need to go on. This is also incorporating giraffe energy, where it's taking sort of falling back into the stillness and taking a look at the bigger picture from a much calmer setting, not one where you're like panicked and trying to like have to come up with an answer really quickly, because it's really hard to tap into your intuition when it's chaos. So there's going to be sort of a call at the end of the month for you all to sink into that sort of more receptive mode, that more stillness, and see things from a different vantage point, because that's going to allow you to step into March in a much more empowered way when you're following the inner guidance of your soul, right? Of your inner compass, which again is really hard to do in the chaos. So it may be that you have to schedule some time in so that you can do that. But this is really like your connection with the divine, your connection with your higher consciousness. It's like sort of the beginning of the month is more that lower consciousness, the more the physical side of things, where you are creating something. You're taking that. It's more action oriented, it's more masculine, divine masculine energy. You're taking that inspiration and you are going with it and you're creating something. End of the month is it's more reflective energy. It's more like, you know what you want to see grow. Maybe you're seeing it grow, but there's some contemplation that needs to happen here, and you need to go within for the guidance. You need to go within to reconnect to your own divinity, to reconnect to your own higher consciousness, to get the clarity that you're looking for. So interesting energies, because we have a little bit of chaos mid-month, not chaos, but it's more like, again, more disruptive energy, I guess, to sort of shift you in a way. And it's all sort of working for your higher good. But just remember giraffe energy and taking that different perspective if you have to, seeing things through a different lens if you can, not being so rigid in how you move forward, in things, trying to control things. Be open. Allow things to come in, explore whatever that is, release what doesn't work, and keep what does, and then go from there. So I hope it's a powerful February for you all. Thank you all so much for listening. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.